All right, Woody. We're missing games. So let's
yeah, we are.
let's
be
get
fast.
through this.
Okay, go.
Not as fast as that day. I had somewhere to be. I want to absorb this. Rudy was awesome.
Yes, he was.
Had a good time.
Absolutely.
We'll get to the snaggles and we'll talk about Rudy some more. But damn, that dude knows how to come in.
Yeah, you do.
Email Sandy wants us to know that Rudy was really good at slumming, as is normal with all our guests. He appears to be a very genuine and pleasant soul of a human. Please continue to try to have guests on your show that make you two seem somewhat human.
I think we're a lot human, but okay.
Sideways compliment.
Yeah, that happens.
Another great. Mask off. I don't know how you two convince strangers to visit the woodshed and open up to you and your fans, but you do. Back-to-back weeks of hunting stories. I'm sure Jamathan has shot a load of man goo all over the place just listening. Maybe he'll give you a great rating. It's Friday at 10 a.m. This isn't being crafted at my usual normal drunk Mac time. Got adult shit to do tonight. So I hope this email ages well. Don't sleep on the Padres. It ages perfect, baby. They're going to win tonight and this weekend. Mookie, I love you, but this isn't your years. It's Padres time. Been telling you both for about 3 months. Mac knows baseball. Padres.
Ooh.
Oh, and fuck you, Manny Machado, you fuck. That's a story for another time. But my hatred is warranted. Scuba Mac. Manny Machado plays for the Padres. So why is he fuck him?
I don't know.
That's got to be like my why I hated the Patriots during my youth story.
Yeah.
Sworn at.
That's probably what it is.
Manny Machado swore at him one time when he interrupted him and a fifth grade teacher talking, huh?
Yeah, and it's probably he wished that he wasn't playing for the Padres, so maybe that's what it is. It's the Padres as a whole whose time it is, not Manny Machado.
Not Manny Machado.
Yeah.
I call it a Padres Seattle Mariners World Series. The Mariners, they were just happy to be there, apparently. But the Padres, they beat the best team in baseball.
They did.
And then the Phillies beat the second best team in baseball.
Yeah, wild. It was
badass,
it was a wild weekend of sports.
And as we speak, I'd like to think that the Guardians with Terry Francona from the Red Sox are right now beating the Yankees, but I have a feeling that's going to go Game 5. Taxman, Keith and Wood. The prior episode was funny for sure. Keith's backwards excursion with Pat and Mug, that's funny, which dominated most of the episode, was hilarious. I envisioned scenes from Deliverance throughout. The Rudy mask off went right along with it. Rudy definitely my ilk. I'm also a fly fishing bum. I still like to hunt and eat elk and deer, but I won't hunt anything that doesn't grace my table, such as a bear or mountain lion. As the good book says in Matthew 6:54, you can't kill from your couch. Let's go, boys. Great pair of episodes. Love, Jamathan.
Ooh, I like that.
Is that really true, Matthew 6:54?
I don't know.
No, it's not true because they didn't have couches back in biblical days.
Well,
what did they sit on? Did they sit on the floor?
What was it? 6 what?
It can't be right. 6:54, Matthew. That can't be.
I don't.
Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise them up at the last day from my couch. Yeah. So yeah. Well, that's the end of the emails.
That's pretty funny. That is the end of our emails, which brings us to our snaggles. And because last year was such a oh my goodness, I meant last week was
Felt
such
like a year. We had a year's worth of alcohol in here.
It did, and because of that, I went a little simple. And this is what I had a backup just in case our guest Rudy, in this case, didn't show up with anything. I had a backup, and so I'm going with it this time. And it's Dos Equis, but it's Dos Equis flavored beers. I just finished the one. I'm going to grab a second. But the one I just finished and the one that's in is salt lime. There's watermelon, pineapple, and there was a fourth, and I can't remember. But it's Dos Equis.
Peach.
No, I don't think it was peach.
No? Okay.
I got it. But this is lime salt, Dos Equis, Lager Especial. They're just really good. They're flavored Dos Equis. I'd never seen them. I bought a box of them, and here we are. This is my last one, so they're delicious.
I'm drinking Crown Royal peach tea, courtesy of Rudy.
Oh, that was a leftover. Yeah.
I'm drinking Tanqueray Ring Per Lime Gin and Soda,
Wow.
courtesy of Rudy.
I can't hear Tanqueray without thinking of Snoop.
And I'm drinking Buzzbox Long Island iced tea, courtesy of Rudy.
Which
Now,
is this delicious.
you had some of these recently
I did. Absolutely.
in a place that restricted alcohol.
I did.
How'd you get these in?
So the nice thing about having multiple children
Yeah.
is some of them are little. And when you get stopped and they say, hey, no alcohol, no outside sodas or whatever, fine. That's all fine and dandy. But you know what they don't ever restrict? Baby bottles, baby drinks, and baby juices. So I hand them, or they look in and they in the bag and they see, and I say, oh, it's just apple juice for my baby.
In a box. In a box.
In a box. Not a second guess. Okay, good enough. So my brilliant ass walks right in with Long Island iced teas, 14 percenters, and they're fantastic.
Courtesy Rudy.
Courtesy of Rudy. So thank you, Rudy, for assisting me on sneaking in my snaggles. It was the greatest. So, yeah, that's our snaggles. Courtesy of Rudy and Rudy.
Yeah.
Still.
He hooked it up, man.
Maybe for the next 5 weeks.
Fuck. I told you earlier, right before we started, after that episode, all the alcohol I drank, all the different alcohol. Now, I'm not a teenage girl, so I don't vomit anymore, but I had to go home and take a nap. I mean, drinking the vodka, the gin, the beer, the fucking schnapps, all the shit we had. I had to go on and take a midday nap.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
It was a lot, and it was, but it was good, and it was well worth it. So, give me 1 second. I just got to fix. We're not having a problem. I just want this to be even better. I
can do this shit. As usual, Snaggles is brought to you by Tiger Claw Tattoo. For all your ink needs and bad decisions that you want to make, if you got a boyfriend that's forcing you into getting a tattoo, this is the place to go to get it. Now, they might save you, so you have to work on your blinking skills, you know what I mean, and your poker face, right?
Yes.
But if you want to go in there, cover-ups. Cover-ups. So anybody from the 90s, black people, I'm talking to you, that have Chinese writing that doesn't know what the fuck it meant, you just thought it was cool, they'll cover that up for you lovely. White people, I'm talking to you about the fucking barbed wire around the bicep, guys and girls.
Yeah.
Okay? So Tiger Claw Tattoos up there in Mill Creek. Telephone number is 801-410-4245. Next, we have MVP Jersey Framing. Now, we all have an ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all, I remember one time I washed one of my white socks with one of my dad's red shirts, and it got pink. And for like the next game, I had a great game, so I wore that pink sock. You know, that white pink sock the whole
absolutely.
time. I don't know what happened to it. I should have took it, and I should have got it framed, because we all, you know, if you're of any type of status, they frame the jersey for you and give it to you when they retire your number.
Yeah.
But for us heathens, us regular people, us, what is it, Mennonites?
I
don't know. Oh, Mennonites. No. Yeah, lay people. Mennonites.
Lay people.
Those are the ones that have the East Coast, West Coast battle with the Amish, right?
Yeah.
Mennonites. All right, so that's not what I meant. Us lay people, we have to frame our own shit. So you have to say, you know what? I normally score 9 points in the game. Today I got 26. I'm going to frame this jersey. MVP jersey framing is where you want to go. 801, back.
Whoops, sorry.
801-910-7556. They will frame up anything. He did my newspaper with Barry. He did my newspaper when the Red Sox broke the curse. He'll do future stuff for me. And let me tell you something. These newspapers, this shit looks professional. Professional shit. I mean,
he's very professional.
He did a great job.
Very good work. You could check a lot of
yes, and he's done. He did wrestling gear for one of my kids. I'm talking. He did the shoes, the headgear. Did I put the jock in there? That sounds like something I would do, but maybe it was taken out. But the whole uniform. He did the whole thing. He does great quality work, and he builds a bad fucking doghouse. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we got Kick Rocks Clothing. This one's close to home. He just got a storefront, brick and mortar property. He's got all his gear in it. He's got the Spaceman. Did we name him? What was the Spaceman's name?
It's the Space Cadet.
Space Cadet. Is his name Gene? Did we name him Gene?
I don't know if we actually.
We didn't give him a name?
No, we were trying, but I think we got distracted. I'm sure like a butterfly or something came through. We got distracted.
Space Cadet. Those
Space
are shirts.
Cadet, but we don't have a name. I'm gonna send him a message.
I'm gonna tell you
Let's
something
see
too.
if he's got an actual
This motherfucker drew. I don't know who this girl is from his memory, but her lips and her eyes were just.
Oh,
wow.
that was beautiful.
What is 1D? Is 1D on paper or is that 2D?
That's 2D. Yeah.
2D's on paper.
Yeah,
What's 1D then?
Me.
He drew this person on paper, and I wish she could have came to life. She was gorgeous, and he even put little beads of sweat around her. So who knows what she was doing? Her mouth, whatever. Anyhow, Kick Rock's clothing, I support it. I wear it. Wood supports it and wear it. Wood looks good in red hat, by the way. And Kick Rock clothing is the one that told you that. He's like, no, the red one was for you, Loke.
Yeah.
He didn't call you Loke, but I call you Loke, right?
Yeah.
When you hear red, you always think like Suge Knight and shit. You know, the blood.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Kick Rock's clothing. They're down there in Orlando. They got a storefront right now. I think it's on the corner of Pine Hills and Hiawassee. I could be wrong, but anybody in Orlando to listen to it, find them. And you can find them online too, and you can follow him on Instagram. He's got some real good shit. That's the end of our advertisements.
Yeah.
What you got? You flipping the script. You fucking go. What you got?
So okay. Yes, as a matter of fact, if you have looked in the last little bit at our social medias, so it was quiet this week. I didn't do a lot of posting on the social medias. Why? Because I was on a journey.
Okay.
I went and I journeyed off to the East Coast. I don't think it's considered coast, but the east side of the country.
Where you were is not the coast.
No, but it's the east. What do I say? The east side?
Hillbilly land.
Yeah, I went to Hillbilly land. So I visited Pittsburgh. I visited West Virginia, and I transported back to the 80s because I don't think either one of those areas is anything updated.
Really?
Which Pittsburgh, if you haven't been there recently, it reminded me a lot, and now don't fight me over this, but it reminded me a lot of Boston, just less busy. So where the town's really tight, close together, there's a lot of cobblestone, like pathways, walkways, a lot of one-way streets all over the place. You get confused as hell as to where you're going if you don't live there. Very similar to Boston.
Yeah.
But like a 16th of the people, it was weird.
Oh, really?
It was
not very crowded?
It was great. I walked around. It was good. I went to West Virginia, however, and I, talking to some of the locals, I had to go to court there because, that's what I do when I go places. I have to go to court.
You had a court case in West Virginia? What? You got a smoothie, didn't you? Because I know she didn't have no teeth. Wow.
So we're not going to get into the specifics of why I had to be there, but in the courthouse, there were velvet red drapes hung all over. I don't know if it wasn't for acoustics. It was for velvety red drapes.
Okay. So they got hand-me-down drapes.
Yeah, I don't think that place had been updated since 1984.
Why were you in Pittsburgh?
Well, so to get to West Virginia, you have a couple of options. You can fly into Charleston.
Go back in time. Oh,
yeah. So I hopped in my DeLorean and I drove 88 miles an hour. So you either had to fly into where I went. You either had to fly into Charleston, West Virginia, and drive 2.5 hours. Pittsburgh and drive an hour and a half, or Maryland, and I can't remember that, but that's 2 hours from Maryland.
Okay.
So I chose Pittsburgh because I don't know much about the other place, and I have a lot of time. But Pittsburgh, I know Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, in my mind, I know Pittsburgh because I'm wearing
I was going to say, hence the hat and the Pirates.
Yeah, so I visited there, traveled back in time, was afraid. I asked, hey, what is there to do here? And they said, well, you have a West Virginia game on Thursday and alcohol. That's about it. Like, when I say, what do I have to do here? They didn't even give me the option of putting it in anything. They just said alcohol in a game. So
that's how they tell time, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So my choices were limited. So, yeah, I visited some first of all, I visited West Virginia, the university, and home of Hot Rod Hundley, and the logo.
Jerry West. Which is actually, for me, I would have reversed that, but you go ahead. I mean, you're a Utah boy.
I am a jazz fan, so to see Hot Rod's statue there, for me, that was really neat.
And to see how badass he was that he had the statue. Was the statue him playing ball or him with a mic?
It was him playing ball.
He was a bad motherfucker.
He's doing a layup, I believe, is what he's doing. And then Jerry West is, passing the ball, of course, like he would. But it was incredible to be there and see that and be with those statues. Like, hey, they played here. And this is, like, it's old coal mining town, or state for that matter. They did some other weird shit there, but for the most part, coal mining, and what they have a university.
Did people look rugged? Did they look weathered? Did they look hardcore?
Everybody's like farmy.
Yeah.
And now we're from Utah, and it ends Utah.
Okay.
You just say it right off the tip of your tongue, Utah.
Okay.
When I went there, suddenly I was from Utah.
Oh, okay.
So in the back of my throat is drawn out as Utah. Okay. West Virginians, because all of the one that probably is listening now, because I gave you a sticker, it's Utah. Mm-hmm. Just end it like that. You don't need to hillbilly it up at all. And then I drove over to Pittsburgh, and of course,
that had to be a fun town.
It's a great town. Like I said, it's very, very similar to Boston with fewer people, and it was really neat. Actually, there's a ton of history. Of course, I'm sure most everybody listening, there's a ton of history over there, and of course they have the Steelers. I'm not a fan of them, but I bought the hat because, damn it, I was there.
See, I can't do that. I can't wear other teams' hats like you do.
Well, I'm wearing a Pirates, and I'm a Padres fan.
Did you see the trains that go up the side of the hill like in Flashdance? That's my only experience with Pittsburgh. I love that fucking movie. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
But
I love that movie.
You know what was interesting is they have trains shit everywhere. When you're in West Virginia at the university, they have like they're about the size of a I don't know a Toyota Camry. Okay, so they're train cars about that size.
Okay.
And they'll pack kids in them and train them all over the campus. I had no idea that even existed. They put like 10 kids in a car and train them.
When you
on
say
train
kids,
tracks.
how old? Like,
Okay, well, I'm saying kids. They're 18 to 25.
oh, you're right, kids.
Yeah, I don't know what they're college age. So you might have a 17-year-old in there. But they're pushing them in these train cars on the actual where they used to use the rails for the coal mines and stuff.
Yeah.
They're on rails now for the university. It's incredible.
The mines are shut down.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There may be some open. I don't know. I didn't dig too far, but for the most part, yeah. Because once they stopped having the kids do the coal mining for them, I think that was a problem. Like West Virginia, see, I could go into West Virginia if we want. They were like, we're not part of the South anymore, so we're going to become our own state, West Virginia, because we don't like slavery. Instead, we're going to use the children. What?
Yeah. The happy medium, right? Yo,
I think you did it wrong both ways, guys.
Did you make it to Heinz Field?
No. So, like I said, I only visited. Now I'm a 6.5 pack in.
West Virginia.
West Virginia, and then we went to the Pirates Stadium. I did not make it to the Steelers. No.
I wonder where that is from. It's got to be close.
I
Pittsburgh can't be that big.
No, it's pretty good. It's very windy. Everything's very tight, and everything's very compact. So I imagine it was right there. But I was limited on time, so I popped into the gift shop across the street from the ballpark, and they had everything. They had the Penguins in there as well, but I don't know enough about hockey to feel comfortable.
Okay.
I wanted something with yellow. And when I asked the kid, he said everything that we get that's yellow disappears within a day.
But all their teams are yellow. The Penguins, the Steelers have yello, and
the Pirates.
I just put that in yellow as my.
And why you're a fan? Not a fan? I don't know. But they don't.
Because I was born in Massachusetts. That might have something to do with it.
But they only have. They had yellow T-shirts and some really thin yellow sweatshirts. And in my mind, a jacket lasts longer than a T-shirt or sweatshirt. So I wanted a jacket that was yellow, and they didn't. He says once they hit the shelves, they're gone immediately.
Okay.
So I ended up with this cool hat and this jacket that's very comfortable.
The yellow matches all their teeth and their combing their eyes with the jaundice.
There are 4 teeth.
This is my favorite time of year. This right here.
It is the pinnacle of the sports year.
So the weather's not bad. I mean, it's a little cold in the morning.
Sure.
But we make it up to 70, 75.
Yep.
You got playoff baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You got hockey gearing up. You got football, which is right in its fucking stride right now, both college and pro.
Yep.
And you got NBA basketball that's just warming up.
NBA, the first regular season game tips off Wednesday.
Right. And it's just a culmination of all this shit. So I've been sitting on my fat ass, my fat fucking ass, just watching sports, man.
It's beautiful.
And I stayed up late and I watched that Padres shit. I watched the Utah beat USC.
Oh, that was great too.
Okay, like I
that
said,
was great.
I'm hoping the Yankees are losing right now. I watched the Bills just beat Kansas City in a fucking. It wasn't a shootout. It was a tough back and forth game. They were tied after every fucking quarter.
Yeah, and you saw that my Steelers beat the Bucks today.
You Steelers. Nice. The Steelers beat the Bucks, which is an anomaly.
Yeah.
Brady's taking this divorce really fucking hard.
You know what's a bigger anomaly that we saw earlier today, and hopefully you didn't record and not watch this? The Jets beat the Packers.
Beat the shit out of the Packers. Beat that ass.
I'm watching it thinking, what kind of game am I even watching? The Utes game, to go back to what you were saying, the Utes and USC, what a beautiful game that was, by the way, to
Gorgeous.
watch. And then to watch. So for those of you that don't know, we are on Twitter. So what you're saying on Twitter.
Okay.
If you want to go over there and ever watch us, follow us, any of the things of us there. But Twitter blew up and came apart about that game.
Really?
USC was all about the refs gave you this game, the refs. But at the end of the game, if you watch that game, Utah gets an interception on a penalty. I get it.
Yes.
He runs it out of bounds. 8 seconds left. Well, USC calls a timeout in the middle of that,
And
so they award him the time.
They put time back on. Who the fuck calls a timeout during the play? I never heard of that. And I was
then,
like,
in my mind, it's like Chris Webber. You know, you call a timeout with no timeouts. That's a penalty.
that poor bastard. This is a damn near creeping up on 40 years. He can't live that down.
I'm surprised that I
Can't
pulled
live
that
that
out
down.
of my memory right now, to be quite honest with you.
Weber was nice.
Yeah, he was.
That motherfucker was
Yeah,
nice. He was nice. And is he in the Hall of Fame, I wonder?
No, I don't think
He's not?
he is yet. No.
And then Sean
Uh-uh.
Kemp was nice.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bad motherfucker. And I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame either. What it's funny to me about baseball right now is they're taking that whole Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds shit, and they're trying to sweep it into the fucking ocean.
Yep.
Because Aaron Judge hitting his home runs was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that pumpkin head, chiclet tooth motherfucker.
Listen,
he
you take all those top ones from back in the 90s, and you're telling me that these guys now aren't doing the same damn thing? You're full of shit.
full of shit.
No. And
Just haven't got caught yet.
let Pete Rose in, for hell's sakes.
I agree with that.
I understand that.
Aaron Judge's home runs, they're making a big deal out of it because they just want to sweep that shit under the rug.
Yes.
Which is fine. I mean, do what you do, right? But I hope they fucking lose tonight. And then Aaron Judge is a free agent, and there's talk of him that Boston Red
Yeah, of
Sox was his
course.
favorite team growing up. And then when I talk
So,
about Aaron Judge
yeah.
next year, it'll be a different conversation because I'm that guy. I don't give a fuck. All right. When we were trying to recruit A-Rod, I was so happy. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get him," and then he iced us, and I hated him, and he turned out to be a fucking ball slapping bitch with purple lips, and I was happy we didn't get him. And I would also like to talk about the fact that I should have been a nerd. I should have been a nerd.
Okay.
If you look at, if it wasn't for Tua getting his fucking eggs scrambled,
Oh, man.
Miami'd
that
be
poor
doing
dude.
good.
Yeah.
But you look at their fucking coach. This motherfucker is a dork ass geek. Dork ass geek motherfucker. He is. If you look at him, he's running like alpha males, like king
Yeah.
ding alpha males. Alpha males that would survive in any era. See, dorks don't survive in any era.
No, they don't.
Okay? Dorks need to link on to somebody. What was his name? Ogre, Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Ogre. That's not him.
No, this is you mentioned nerds.
Okay.
Um,
Is this the Jazz head coach?
yeah. Will Hardy.
He's 22 years old. Who the fuck is
I
Will
think
Hardy?
he's 35.
That motherfucker's 35?
Yeah, something like that. But this is who we have.
He's got
you wanna-
shorts on. I should have been a nerd.
Yeah,
I
see, that's
should've-
what I'm saying. You should have been
It's
in. Look at this.
changing.
He was an assistant coach for the Spurs, and now all of a sudden he's the
It's
Jazz head
changing.
coach.
It's changing.
I know
It's
he's
changing.
the Jazz's head coach because right now they have nobody to play, so they're like, well, if we lose for the next 4 seasons, we could just blame it on him, get somebody seasoned, and we're off to the races, which I fully believe that's what they're intending to do. We're going to let this guy in, get him some experience. We don't have to pay him as much as somebody else, like a big name. Thanks for your service, buddy, and see you later.
I guarantee you Quinn Snyder's somewhere right now in fucking the Philippines doing cocaine. That motherfucker always looked like he was just one hit short of a full high. Sweating, he had those coke eyes, the red eyes around, and he was just always stressed. I loved him.
Oh,
His
yeah, so
fucking
did I.
wavy is wavy. Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Less than zero hair and shit. I fucking loved Quinn Snyder, and I wish he'd done a Jerry Sloan type run with the Jazz, man.
I do
but
too.
you know, it's different now. But again, I wish I had been a nerd because football's changing now,
Yeah.
right? And you can't even fall on a fucking quarterback.
Nope.
You can't hit anybody. Deacon Jones is rolling over in his grave. Merlin Olsen is rolling over in his grave. Lawrence Taylor, he's not paying attention because he's high with Quinn Snyder somewhere. But it's just such a pussified fucking league right now, man.
Yeah.
It's making the game soft. And you know what I blame? Here's what I blame.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm listening.
so you remember watching football back in the day? Did your mom watch football?
Yeah. Well,
Did
I
she?
mean, not like.
She didn't watch it like you and Dad and your
No,
brother.
you're right,
But she'd
no.
look at it and she'd be like, "Oh, is he hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe. Oh God, heavens
Yep.
to Betsy, right? All that shit, right? They got women refs now, and they got women refs out there saying
Yep.
you can't hit like that. You can't do that. Oh, don't hurt him. Oh, he looks like my son. He looks like my nephew. Don't hurt him. You can't land on Tom Brady. Somebody got a fucking penalty for sacking Tom Brady and landing on him.
Yeah, full weight. Well. So the whole thing was, well, it was full weight and he landed on him. Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
But the dude stripped him of the ball and landed with one arm. What's he supposed to do? But then there was repeats of, so it was Tom Brady. He got the penalty, and then I'm trying to think of who the other quarterback was. It was another I don't know, not a no-name quarterback because most of the quarterbacks are bad. But I can't remember the team. It was the same week, same kind of play. Squashed him, rolled him, and no penalty.
Huh.
Also, I do believe that Tom Brady got fined after that
for kicking at him. Yeah, $11,000. Tom Brady's got $11,000 in his fucking ashtray.
No,
okay?
He doesn't. He has $11,000 that are going to Giselle right now. So he ain't got shit.
That'd be $5,500 going to Giselle. But I mean, you got football, NFL football players walking around with like "Choose Love" on the back of their fucking helmet. Right? Yeah. Now I understand the thing behind it, and for the NFL, I'm sure they're getting paid off of it. But I can't picture Dick Butkus walking around with "Choose Love" on the back of his fucking helmet.
No, he
it's
shows
choose
up.
Violence.
Yeah.
All right. Jack Tatum, who laid out Darryl Stingley, was not choosing love that day. He was choosing life-altering situation. Okay.
Like,
I mean,
a lot, and the running backs back in the day. If you are a defensive back and you're going to lower your head and go against some of those running backs, that's on you, buddy.
Yeah.
And the defensive backs are probably the ones walking out with concussions. Not these running backs. Those guys were machines.
Yeah.
They're mean because it was more of a running league. Now it's more of a passing league. They still run for but you don't have the Walter Paytons, the Deion Sanders, the Barry Sanders. You don't have those running backs now. And those guys would Barry not so much, maybe he was very finesse. But the others, they would run people over.
You got a whole league that was raised on Dungeons and Dragons. Like their parents were even raised on Dungeons and Dragons, and they're fucking soft motherfuckers. This is coming from a guy that never played one down in the NFL, but I watched my whole life, okay?
Me growing up, I thought to myself, but it was too late by the time, like, the realization of it came, is I should have been a kicker.
Oh, yeah.
I should have been a kicker. I could have been any size. I just have to kick the ball, and I can miss some, but I gotta make I gotta make most, but I can miss some.
Even the kickers now got full face masks. Morton Anderson had one fucking bar because the league made him have one bar. He knows nobody's gonna touch him, and if they do, I had to have a talk with my fucking line.
Yeah, and you don't even have to you have that talk before. Hey, if they touch me, I better not have to touch them.
Right.
And the line's like, yep, we got it. So they get touched, and all of a sudden it's a problem. Yeah, what? That is right. And I'm now thinking back over the years. Yeah, the punters and your field goal kickers had a single bar across the face. And I always thought to myself, well, that's not going to save you from a damn thing. But they didn't need it. Running backs had 2 bars.
Yeah. Remember when they got the shield and shit, too?
Yeah.
What was it, Ricky Williams?
I think so.
Was he the first one, that fucking weirdo? And then who was the dude to play for the Chargers? Was that Natron Means?
I don't remember.
Somebody else had it, too. And I was like, what are you doing? And it's tinted and shit. I'm like, how the fuck you even see where you're going? You're out here like you're at the fucking club, man. Smoke visors and shit.
Well, then people start wearing sunglasses in the club, so whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I went to a...
Oh, boy.
I went to a high school football game.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right. No. You perk up.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a lot of kids. I'm going to one of your kids' football games next week.
Yeah.
Because I know you and your kid.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to a high school football game. I knew nobody playing for either team, parent or player. Okay. I went there and I sat in the stands like a fucking pedophile. And after a while, it was wearing on me. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? I had some time to kill. I said, oh, here's a rivalry going on. Let me go to this game, right? And the fucked up part is I saw somebody that I knew, right? And his son is playing on one of the teams. Right?
Oh, well, then you could just hitch your wagon to that.
No. I fucking blew it. He looked me in the eyes and goes, hey, how you doing? I didn't see him in a while. Hey, what's up, Keith? How you doing? I was like, yo, what's up, blah, blah. He's like, who you here to see? I was like, oh, shit. I'm just here to watch the game. He's like, oh, okay. And he bailed himself out. He goes, well, my son's playing. I'm not with you, you fucking weirdo. And he just kind of faded into the fucking crowd after that.
Yeah, he did the Homer Simpson into the hedges.
I went up to the top and I just sat there by myself, so lonely. And I watched the game. And I said, I'm going to pick a color, either orange or blue. I went for blue.
Oh.
And I just watched these kids play, which fucking freaked me out because back in the day when I used to play ball, my boy Lynn can attest to this. There was this guy that follows us around from league and fucking tournament and league and tournament. And we would look in the stands and be like, who knows him? And nobody. And finally somebody went up to us like, who do you know? He's like, oh, I just like watching you guys play. Yeah. Now, we're at, 1920. It didn't register, but our heads. It's exactly what was in my head when I was sitting there in the fucking stands watching all these pubescent fucking kids play football.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's just so fucking slow.
It is.
No, they move so slow. I'm just, dude, how can you not fucking get to that spot? At my advanced age, I'd like to think I can move a little bit faster than you're moving right now.
Well, because you may have played at a little higher level in any sport. You play at every level you go as you sport up, it gets a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're down on an NBA court and watching them play, that's fast as shit.
Fast as shit.
I don't care what these people that watch from, well, the game is this, that. It's fast.
Yeah.
Those guys move, and holy shit, like
the big motherfuckers move too.
Look, John Morant, dude's a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's
We watch it from our comfy couches, and okay, he could have been faster. No, I'm pretty sure that was really fast.
Right.
So what I find interesting is I watch these little league games and that because I'm in the middle of all that. Is you can spot now. I say you. I'm generalizing that you and I both can spot really good talent though.
Okay. Oh fuck
so
yeah.
My boy's playing, and he's a bigger boy, so he's not super fast, and he doesn't have a throwing arm.
Okay.
So he plays defense, which is where he's supposed to be because he can break people.
Yes.
And he's playing against this other team, and now I've watched our team play, and our quarterback's decent. He's pretty fast. He's like on his feet, he's fast, but his throwing's it's mediocre.
Okay.
The team we were playing against, their quarterback, I watched him throw a few and thought, holy shit. When we get to high school, this kid's a problem.
Damn.
Because they're going to be rival high schools. This kid's going to be a problem.
Mm.
In junior high, he's 8th grade,
Mm-hmm.
and he's throwing it at a high school level. So if he can continue that way, this kid's going to get somewhere, at least through college. I have his name written down. I did that because they yelled it, so I wrote it down. Like, that kid's going somewhere. Holy shit. I'm going to be his agent.
Do you think throwing – I've told the story on here before about the kid when I drove up to my neighbor's house and him and this fucking kid are standing at the corner and they're looking across the neighbor's house, which is probably from – no shit, at least 120 yards away.
Okay.
And the kid took a fucking raw egg. You remember the story?
Yeah.
And threw it through the fucking siding of the house.
Uh-huh.
A raw egg.
Yeah.
How do you launch a raw egg without blowing up in your fucking hand?
That's a great question. You got soft hands.
And I get out and I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, we're talking about the damage he did to my house. He said he threw an egg in my house. I go, oh, because we used to do dumb shit like this.
Yeah.
So you froze an egg in the freezer and you threw it at the house. He's like, no, we just grabbed some eggs out the fridge. I go, wait a minute. You took a raw egg and you threw it over there? From here? He goes, no, I wasn't standing here. And he pointed to the fucking backyard he was in, which was about another 30 yards away. I threw it from there. I said, my man, you're wasting your fucking talent. If I knew anything about baseball, I'd get you in the fucking league right now. He goes, I'm 16. I go, are you playing high school baseball? He goes, no, I don't like baseball. And I go, it's always you motherfuckers. It's always you guys. The 7-footer that doesn't like basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
The fucking 6'5" guy, 310 with a 4.240, 4.740 that doesn't like football.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this motherfucker threw it through the siding.
And he's just like, meh.
Talent.
I don't care.
Talent, man.
Yeah.
What I am realizing, though, is it's all coming back around. Okay. So we talk about our youth. We talk about what we could do. I mean, again, you have a home run that's still fucking floating around there somewhere in the orbit, right?
Yeah.
Right?
That was my pitch.
I've
So, in case anyone's missed the story, I was a high school pitcher, and I had my big moment. This was before I decided maybe playing center field was where I needed to be. So I got up there on the pitching mound. I had a first couple. I think I struck one person out.
Nice.
I think I walked a person, had a couple in, and then this guy came up.
Was he a left-handed batter?
No, he's right-handed.
Oh, so you're supposed to have the advantage.
Supposed to, but I'm pretty sure this kid had the advantage. Now, in my defense, I'm a sophomore and he's a senior. Either way, it demoralized me. He gets up. I think I got 2 pitches past him, probably balls, probably weren't strikes.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, let's give him the heater. I'm going to give him the heater. And
put my back into it.
I had a good wind up. It felt strong, came off my hand perfectly. I'm watching it. My fastball had a natural curve to it, just being a lefty in the way it comes off.
Okay.
It just had a natural curve. It goes in. I'm watching it make its little break, and then he swings, and bam! he hits it, and it goes up.
Did you turn around?
Yeah, I watched it because I was like, holy shit. I wonder if that's going to land.
Ever?
And it goes. And it goes. And their team's cheering before it even cleared orbit. And it just kept going. I turned back around before it landed and looked at my coach. He looked at me. He let the guy clear the bases with him. Calls a timeout. I never pitched again.
Yeah.
That was the very last pitch I ever threw in my baseball career. After that, it was all center field. I was fast. I could run, so I could cover this space out in the outfield. I was not a pitcher.
No.
I learned that. I may have grown up that way. But that kid, he taught me 100%. I wish I knew who it was to, like, have him sign a ball, say, hey, this landed out of, like, space.
I found it in Omaha. Yeah. My favorite thing about pitches, when they throw that one pitch that they want back and the guy hits it, is when they don't even turn around. They just, like, bend over like they just got kicked in the nuts, and they just, or they throw their glove down, and they never turn around and recognize it. I love that shit. Because when shit happens, I like when Leitner hit that shot with the pass from Grant Hill from out of bounds, I always watch the losing team. You know what the winning team's going to do.
Yep.
Right? The losing team, just the way they react.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We all been there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've hit some game winners. I've struck out people on the end. Like, I've done some things. I've hit a home run to end a game before.
Nice.
Like, I've done some things. But to have that happen, and like, I watched it, and once I saw the peak of that bitch, I was like, it's gone.
Yeah.
And not to mention the wall they built because it bordered a highway where traffic was going.
Like,
they had to build extra high. It was like the Green Monster.
You're like, that's going to hit a car, huh?
Yeah. I thought, I'm pretty sure it cleared 6 lanes of traffic.
Wow.
It went. And it hurt and it sucked. But I learned my place in sports.
Again, that story coincides with what I was going to say is we all had our glory days, but I'm watching TV now, right? And so you got Yellowstone. Do you watch Yellowstone with Kevin Costner?
No.
He's a badass old man. Do you watch The Old Man with Jeff Bridges?
No.
He's a badass old man. There's a new show coming out called Tulsa King, which is with the fucking smartest person in Hollywood. I always say that. Do you know who I call the smartest person in Hollywood? You know it.
I'm sure. I don't know.
Sylvester Stallone.
There we go.
He's back.
Yeah.
And he's playing this fucking hitman who apparently, by the previews, has had his neck and his back fused because the way he turns like that.
I'm sure he has. If you look at him, I'm pretty sure he has.
You've been rich and famous since you were like 25. Why is your neck and back all fucked up? And he's like, I do my own stunts. But this fucking show called Tulsa King is about him being some Italian hitman, I surmise, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And he's teaching those yokels like you in West Virginia how it's fucking done in the big city. So I just think, like the old guy theme is coming back around, right?
Well, yeah.
And is battling the new nerd nation.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, again, absolutely.
That coach from Miami, I'll put even fucking what's his name? For the Miami. I've exposed up there because he's a video guy.
Yeah.
He's a
I think Spoelstra made it cool to be that.
To be the nerd?
Yeah, because he gets put in and he's got Dwayne Wade, he's got LeBron James, he's got Chris Bosh. So he's got
and Pat Riley backing him.
Yeah. And there was all that talk, like because they didn't win the first year. It was the next year, and there was all that talk. Well, Pat Riley's just going to step in and knock him out. Well, he let him ride, and Spoelstra does good, and he wins. And then all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, it's cool to be young and a coach. It's cool to be young and in sports and a nerd on top of it.
All I'm hearing in my head is "Hip to Be Square" by Huey Lewis and the News. That's how old I am. What's your favorite sports nickname, whether it be a conglomerate, Run TMC, Iron Curtain, or whether it be a person, Neon Dion, Sweetness, Chocolate Thunder, Dr. J, Air Jordan.
My favorite one, and I think just because of how the way it flows, and I did like to watch him play back in the day, Clyde the Glide.
You like that?
Yeah, I like it. I do. It's always been one of my favorites. Pistol Pete is another one just because it hits close to home. Pistol Pete Maravich, but Clyde the Glide, man, I love that. Like, because it just, when you hear it, and if you watched him, he was smooth.
Yeah.
And he glided everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a huge fan of his, but I like the nickname. That's probably my favorite nickname. What about yours?
Here's one that people, if my cousin's listening, he's gonna fucking break his radio right now. First of all, Larry Legend came around after he retired.
Yeah.
For the most part, right? He wasn't Larry Legend during the game. They didn't go, Larry Legend for 3. They never said that.
No, he didn't. No,
It was after the fact. So
Yeah.
let's take him out the equation. Probably the Black Mamba.
That is good.
Badass fucking name, man.
That is good. That is good.
That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
I'm solo.
Yep.
I don't need nobody else. If you come with me, you're going to get fucking bit.
Yep. Oh yeah, that is great. And the fact that he took it, embraced it, and made something of it, like he made a name with it too. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Like the Black Mamba it's really good. As much as I despise the Lakers, like
That was a bad boy.
that was,
I just watched the Redeem Team. Made me like him even more. I remember he's one of
I
those.
haven't watched that yet.
Watch that.
Okay.
Watch it. So he's one of those. I like when the space shuttle blew up and when 9/11 happened and when so many things happened. I know right where I was when I found out Kobe Bryant died. It's that indelible in my mind.
Yeah, which is funny because I was never a huge Kobe Bryant fan because the biggest reason was because I'm such a jazz fan that when he was first coming in, we owned him. We own him with Carl, with Stockton. And then Carl joins them. They don't do anything. He does for a year. It doesn't really count. And then Kobe takes off, and he starts winning. And we just could never get past the Lakers on the West Coast now. Yeah. Now it's all Lakers, and we can't. So for that reason, I dislike him. But then once he retires, and Shaq's the same. I had a hard time with him when he was with the Lakers, so I struggle. But Kobe retires, but then when he dies, it's like, that was a part of, like, MJ was a part of me as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
Kobe was a part of me of, like, becoming that fan, like, that true fan of sports. And then he dies, so that hit different. It was like, holy shit.
And he's the closest thing to MJ I've ever seen.
Yeah. And he was only 1 year older than me. I remember when he went into the league, and I thought, holy shit.
I could do that. No.
No.
That ball's still up in the air somewhere. I can't do that.
I think to myself, he was 1 year older than me, and look what he's doing that I could never touch.
I remember that stage in my life too, watching these guys. I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I also like the Rocket, Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
I like the Hawk, Andre Dawson. That was a badass name. I thought the Worm was stupid. I thought the Mailman was stupid.
Also didn't like it.
I like Rain Man for Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
Because that went with the movie. The Glove, I thought that was stupid. Air Jordan is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of a given, I think.
One of my favorite fucking players of all time had one of the dumbest fucking nicknames. Was a Human Highlight for Dominique Wilkins.
The Fridge. I do like the Fridge.
The Fridge was good. Sweetness, I thought was a little weak for a professional running back.
I would
How come
agree.
Barry Bonds never had a nickname? Oh, the Playmaker, Michael Irvin.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Neon Dion was okay.
Yeah, that was all right.
Bo Jackson never had a nickname.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Bo Knows. That's Bo
Knows.
I don't know if that's really a nickname. But so part of the reason. Okay, I'm not a Pirates fan. You said Barry Bonds, but I was a Pirates fan.
Skinny Barry.
With Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonilla.
Oh, Bobby Bonilla Day. What is that? June
23rd.
Is it June 23rd? Yeah, that's right. Bobby Bonilla Day.
I'm rocking my original Pirates fandom right there. Yeah, because they were when I was a little kid. That's where they were. Playing.
Okay.
And they were damn good. And you're right. It was Skinny Barry.
Yeah, Skinny Barry.
Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla. Man.
Back to nicknames again. I'm just gonna say I like the triplets for those freaks in Dallas. I did like that. LT for Lawrence Taylor. I mean, I could go on and on. The ones I hate I already talked about, but there's some badass nicknames.
There are. And that used to be. So now they've got what's the dude that plays for the 76ers now? Why am I drawing a blank?
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, the process.
That's stupid.
That's the names they're coming up with now. Okay.
The classiest. I'm glad you said Philly because I would have went over it and then kicked myself.
Oh, Jerome Bettis. The
bus.
That's we got comedy.
That's not bad. That's not bad either. But Dr. J is probably Dr. J's up there. Excuse me. Air Jordan's up there with Dr. J.
I like that.
Those are classic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Iceman.
The Fab Five. What about the Fab Five? We didn't even talk about the Fab Five.
Those are some bad boys right there, man.
The Fab Five.
Those are some change the fucking game. Anyhow, we're sports centric today. I'd like to think I'm going to look at my phone after I'm done with this, and the fucking Yankees lost. And the Guardians with Terry Francona, right?
Yeah.
Big Poppy.
Big Poppy.
Big Poppy had a name.
That's a good one too. I really like Big Papi.
I love it when you call me Big Papi. Wood, is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying.
God damn, I love sports.
Yeah. So those of you, I do too. And for those of you that have listened for more than 5 minutes of this show at any time throughout the last 5+ years, you know that we do like our sports. Sometimes we get sports centric, and today was that day.
This is a culmination. Yeah. This is like you get that sweet spot. You know, like what is that? That whirlpool. You ever been to Niagara Falls? They got those little whirlpools.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's
the toilet, right? Takes it all down.
Yeah, and you can't visit West Virginia where they have a university and alcohol only. That's all. Pittsburgh, and then I don't even think I mentioned that I was in the back. I went on the brand new Utah Jazz court this weekend as well. Got to walk on the brand new court.
Who the fuck you know?
I know some people. Okay. I know some things. And I went to
when you say brand new, you mean what?
Like this year's the first year they've put that court out.
Really?
I think they've had a couple preseason games.
You were on the court?
I was on the actual court. I'll post a picture up. Yeah, man. I was on the actual court with the new logo, the new design, the new colors. Shit. It was awesome. So since I did all that in a week, I felt like we better talk some sports.
Okay.
And the month of October, I don't know that you can get any more, like, all the sports are playing at the same time. Every day of the week, you could watch a sporting event.
What do hunters call it? They call it the stream, like when you fish and shit, and it's right there in that spot.
You're downstream?
I don't know. There's a part with the water, and it's got the wake over here, and you got the break over here, and right there is where you want to cast. You want to cast. Yeah, I suck.
The smooth spot.
I know a good fish market.
There's no water moving.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
Yep, that one. That's the sport, the hunting sport. We don't know. But anyway, we talked about it the last 2 weeks. So you can go check those out if you want. Next week is it's going to be a different kind of show. It's still going to be us.
Okay.
But we're going to be guests on a podcast.
Oh, we got that mashup with like Happy Days visit Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
Or
that one.
Oh, NCIS LA versus NCIS New York.
That's exactly what it's going to be. So next week, guys, we are going to be on the podcast with Mint Ketchup. Mint Ketchup is their podcast name. You can check them out. They're on wherever you get your podcasts. They're also on YouTube.
Sounds disgusting is what it sounds.
I think if you ate mint ketchup, that would be gross. However, we'll get into that probably next week. We can talk to him about that name and how it came to be. Check out Mint Ketchup, guys. That's where we will be next week. That was hard.
I like that.
So where we will be.
And we got some closed doors coming up.
Yes. And also I'd like to say that we do have the closed doors coming up. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. $3.99 on Spotify and on Anchor and also Apple Podcasts. If you feel so inclined, Facebook also allows a subscription there as well, but it's a little bit more. They set that price. I don't have any I can't change that, so that's where they're at. If you want to subscribe to them on Facebook. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here, for joining. Those of you that joined late, sorry, you could rewind this bad boy, listen at your leisure, or just catch the audio only. And with that, Keith, I got to tell you, my man, this week has been nothing short. No, there was a home run this week. It's been a pleasure.
And now, starting it, we're out. So what you saying?